Long ago, when the Buddha still walked upon this earth, there lived in the city of Rajagaha a man named Ananda, not the Buddha's attendant, but another man of the same name. He was honest and hardworking, yet within him there always stirred a restless unease. His temper was quick, his emotions fierce. Even the smallest disturbance, a careless word, a misplaced object, a cup overturned, would ignite anger in his heart and sharp words upon his tongue, wounding others without his intent. Each time his anger subsided, Ananda would sit in silence, heavy with remorse. He would scold himself, "I know that anger only brings me suffering, and yet, why can I not control it?" But like a flame meeting the wind, his fury would rise again whenever something displeased him. One day, hearing that the Blessed One was teaching at the Bamboo Grove Monastery, Ananda decided to go there. Kneeling at the Buddha's feet, he folded his hands and spoke with sincerity. "Blessed Master, I come to you because my mind finds no peace. I grow angry at the smallest things. I know that anger harms me more than it harms others, but I cannot master it. Please, Lord, teach me how to keep my heart calm." The Buddha gazed at him with eyes full of compassion. His smile was gentle, like the moon reflecting on still water. He said softly, "My son, anger is like holding a burning coal, intending to throw it at another. Before the other is burned, your own hand is already scorched." Ananda bowed his head in silence. The Buddha motioned for him to sit beside him. "Listen well," said the Blessed One, "and I shall tell you a story." In a small village to the north lived a painter of great renown. His works were said to breathe with life, for he painted not only with his hands, but with his soul. One day, a young apprentice came to learn from him, eager, respectful, full of dreams. The old painter kindly accepted. On the very first day, as the master prepared to begin a new painting upon a pristine white canvas, a visitor passing by accidentally spilled a drop of black ink upon it. The entire room fell silent. The apprentice froze in fear. The cloth was rare, precious, meant for a long-awaited masterpiece. Surely the master would rage. But the painter simply smiled. He looked at the blot for a long time, then said, "It's all right." Perhaps this painting wished to begin right there. Taking up his brush, he added a few delicate strokes around the stain. Soon, from that imperfect blot emerged the image of a small bird soaring through a bright sky. When the painting was finished, everyone marveled. The ink drop, once a blemish, had become the heart of beauty. The apprentice asked, amazed, "Master, why did you not become angry when your canvas was ruined?" The painter replied with a serene smile, "If I had been angry, I would have seen only a stain. But when I remained calm, I saw a chance to create." The Buddha paused and looked at Ananda. "In life," he said, "there will always be drops of ink, unexpected things that disturb the heart. You cannot avoid them, but you can choose how to respond. If you grow angry, your heart sees only darkness. But if you stay calm, even a drop of ink can become the wing of a bird." Ananda folded his hands, silently reflecting. The Buddha continued, "Long ago in the eastern mountains of Magadha, there was a peaceful village beside a clear river that never turned murky. In that village lived a young man named Tumin, the son of a family famous for their fine tea. His father was known far and wide for his art of brewing tea, every cup fragrant, pure, and gentle. But Min himself was quick-tempered. If a worker made the slightest mistake, weighing the leaves wrong, drying them too long, or missing a delivery, he would scold them harshly. His anger frightened those around him. Yet his heart was not evil. When the rage passed, he always regretted his words. One evening, his father said gently, "You've learned the craft of tea, my son, but not the stillness it requires. To master great work, you must first master your own heart." Then he told Min to journey up the mountain to meet an old Zen master known for his wisdom. Min climbed for half a day before reaching a humble hut hidden among bamboo. Before the hut sat the master, quietly brewing tea. Without a word, he gestured for Min to sit and poured him a cup. After a long silence, Min spoke, "Venerable master, I have come to learn how to keep my mind calm. I anger easily, though I know it brings only pain. Please teach me." The master smiled, his voice gentle as the wind through leaves. "I shall not teach you with words. Stay with me for 3 days. Help me serve tea to guests, and you will understand." The next morning, 3 travelers arrived to visit the master. Min was asked to pour the tea. He tried to be very careful, but in his haste, 1 cup tilted, spilling hot tea onto a guest's sleeve. The room went still. Min's face turned pale. "I am so sorry," he stammered. He braced himself for scolding, but the master only smiled, wiped the table with a cloth, and said softly, "It's all right." The cup tilted, but if your mind tilts, the whole pot will spill. The guest chuckled kindly. "No harm done. The tea was so fine it made my hand tremble." Everyone laughed, and the tension vanished. Afterward, Min asked the master, "Why were you not angry, master? If this happened at home, my father would have been furious." The old man poured another cup, letting the steam rise into the air. "If I were angry," he said, "this tea would taste bitter. But if my mind is still, it remains fragrant." The spilled tea is like the small troubles of life. When the mind is steady, they settle by themselves. Then he asked, "When you grow angry, who suffers first?" "I do," Min admitted. "Exactly," said the master. "Anger burns within. The one you're angry at only sees the smoke. If you wish your tea to keep its flavor, pour it with a calm heart, not trembling hands of fury." For 3 days, Min stayed in the hut, sweeping the yard, chopping wood, boiling water. At first, he still grew impatient when the fire flickered or the kettle boiled too slowly. But gradually, with each breath and each sound of bubbling water, his heart grew quiet. The water boiled, but did not spill. The fire burned, but did not rage. His mind was warm, yet serene. On the 3rd day, the master asked him to serve tea again. A breeze blew and a single drop spilled. Yet Min only smiled, wiped it gently, and continued pouring. The master nodded with kind eyes. "Good, the tea still spilled, but your heart no longer tilted," and descended the mountain. From that day, he was a different man. When trouble arose, he took a deep breath and recalled his teacher's words. "If your heart tilts, the whole pot will spill." He spoke kindly to his workers, and customers began to trust him more. His father, seeing the change, asked his secret. Min simply said, "A tea maker cannot keep fragrance if his heart is boiling." Years later, after his father's passing, Min continued the family craft. Before his father's altar, he lit incense and whispered, "Father taught me to make tea. The master taught me to keep peace. Now I know tranquility is the finest flavor of all." People said that his tea had a unique aroma, not just delicate but warm. Those who drank it felt a quiet joy inside. When asked for his secret, Min would smile and say, "Just don't let the heart tilt, even if the cup does." The tale of Min's tea reached even the Bamboo Grove Monastery. One day, when a disciple asked about anger, the Buddha told this very story and said, "In life, there will always be cups that tilt and moments that spill. The wise do not seek to avoid them. They seek to keep their hearts upright." He continued, "The wise do not quench anger with anger, but with the cool water of mindfulness." Then the Blessed One said, "The mind is like water. When it is clear, the moon is reflected. When it is disturbed, the moon remains, but you no longer see it." Even in our world today, the lesson of the tilted cup of tea remains timeless. All of us face moments of irritation, confusion, and hurt. But if we can pause, breathe, and see through calm eyes, we realize that peace does not come from circumstances. It comes from how we respond. When we master our emotions, we preserve our happiness, and we share serenity with those around us. To stay calm amid turmoil, that is meditation. To see mistakes with compassion, that is wisdom. And when we understand this, we see that even a single drop of ink or tea can become part of a beautiful painting if only the heart remains still.